This is One Last Time from the musical Hamilton, sung by Christopher Jackson and Lin-Manuel Miranda. The reason why I played it is because Disney Plus is airing Hamilton the movie, which is basically a recording of the Broadway show from 2016 for everybody to see, and have posted on their streaming service. And I have not yet seen Hamilton until just this very minute. Well, actually, this minute is about 2 hours and 40 minutes ago. Actually, technically 3 hours ago when we started watching it. But enjoyed Hamilton immensely on this Independence Day. Happy 244th birthday to the United States of America. America, yeah. There's drinks to you, man. We got Hamilton on Disney Plus. We got fireworks rolling out there right now. And a little later tonight, in roughly about an hour, we're going to start seeing the eclipse start. So we do have a partial lunar eclipse that you will be able to see from your very own backyard. I don't think it's really going to hit till about midnight or so, but it's going to start about 11 o'clock. Start seeing it getting eaten away periodically. But hey, welcome to a brand new episode of Dylan Knows. I am your host, Dylan Lang, and this is, July 4th, 2020. We are there. 2020 has been a bitch of a year, and we are finally here in July. So we have now gone on the other side of the half of the year. 6 months have passed. We're on the 7th month now. So hopefully everything goes downhill from here and gets better, meaning picking up speed, not that things are going to get worse, which is very possible, since, as we see in tonight's episode, there are a bunch of things that could make things go worse, including a new virus that could be spreading as soon as next month. So hooray. But while we're here, celebrate the independence of your nation by blowing up a small part of it. That's what the fireworks are going on right now. You've probably been hearing them for a long time now, but today you're going to hear them even more so. I've already heard a ton already, and I can't hear them down here in my soundproof booth, but I have been hearing them, so they are out and about. So today's episode, we're going to talk about Hamilton. We're going to talk about July 4th. We're going to talk about my vacation. I've been on vacation all week. Posted a bunch of pictures today. So those who follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram have seen the pictures. I'll discuss a little bit of what's going on with that. We've had some pretty interesting deaths this week. Some more interesting things in Fortnite, the eclipse, sports teams changing names, new films in development for DC, anniversaries. Niantic has their first new game, HBO Max's newest original film, Batman Forever Extended Cut. Flying. What the hell is that? Flying. Oh, I know what that is. Flying snakes, eagles with sharks. Not a lot going on because I was offline for the whole lot of this week. Some COVID stuff. Starbucks, Alabama, NFL preseason. Beetlejuice is back in the news again. Beavis and Butthead. AMC and Cinemark make news today. Sailor Moon, custom face masks. Bar Lives Matter. Pickle ice cream, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, not a lot of stuff this week. So this one's going to probably be a short one. I have been, as I said, out and about all week. So let me tell you about that. Actually, first, since this is July 4th, may as well cover that aspect first before getting to my vacation. So it's for the July's very interesting one so far. It's the first one in a really long time where I am not, and I did not get a chance to spend 4th of July with my family. My immediate family, my wife and kids, yes. But usually 4th of July is our big, my father's side of the family, it's our big celebration. We do badminton, we do barbecue, we have good get-together, usually watching baseball at this time, fireworks shooting off, all kinds of fun stuff. It would have been nice to have that, but obviously with the virus going around, we cannot do that. So we spent a very quiet, relaxing full day at home since we got back from our vacation yesterday. So basically spent the day, let's see, my son was playing Fortnite most of the day, as well as some Roblox and other stuff. My daughter was doing a lot of YouTubing and also some Sims. My wife was doing a lot of social media, and then did some of the laundry and the dishes as well. I did some Pokemon Go, some Fortnite, and some social media, Instagramming, stuff like that. We all decided to watch Planet Earth. We've been watching the Planet Earth documentary for a while now. We wanted to watch 2 episodes, but then my DVD Blu-ray player was starting to make a weird noise, was acting kind of weird when I played DVDs, but not when I played Blu-rays. So I had to go out and order a new one from Amazon, get that on Thursday. When my son turned on his Switch today, there was an issue getting it hooked up. So it took a little while for us to turn off the TV and get it back on and get it working again. Plus the TV, when I turned it on one of the first days today, the sound wasn't working. So I had to turn off, turn it back on. So all my electronics, all in my television, DVD, Blu-ray, Switch area, all just sort of fizzled today, and I don't understand why. Obviously, who knows what's going on with that. Hopefully it's not anything serious. Also, my son, he's had 2 really good stuffed animal friends that he's had since he was a kid, and he still has them. And we've had to replace one of them. We're now going to have to replace the other one since it's a battery-operated toy, and we've changed the battery so much that the screws have been stripped, so we cannot unlock the battery chamber. So I went and bought a new one for him also. So we got a whole bunch of that also. July 3rd, Friday, yesterday, was our 16th anniversary of our house. We've been in our house for 16 years. So huzzah to that. That was an interesting thing to go do. Hamilton was released on Disney Plus yesterday as well, and I caught it today with my family. The entire family actually stayed and watched it. Even my son, who usually doesn't watch these kind of things, he enjoyed it. He likes that type of music, so it was kind of cool. My daughter, of course, loved it. My wife loved it. I liked it a lot too. It was a history thing, and it was a different take on certain things, but it was a very well done musical with nothing but song lyrics to lead you through the history, and you had to sort of figure out what's going on, but it was pretty easy to follow what was happening. So they did a really good job with that. The lighting was phenomenal, and the reactions of the audience was good as well. So a fantastic version of it. If you have not checked it out yet, if you have been wanting to see Hamilton and had just not been able to pay, did not want to pay the exorbitant prices to go see it at Broadway or off Broadway or whatever, definitely check out. If you don't already have it, get some Disney Plus, pick it up and watch it. It was great. It was fantastic, and I really enjoyed it. And it could be another potential regular 4th of July event along with 1776, Independence Day, Jaws, and Team America. So we got a whole bunch of good stuff with that as well. So very much enjoyed it. That was, I think, my favorite song was that one that I played at the beginning of the show. So the reason why tonight's episode is probably not going to be all that long, it might be lucky if I get an hour out of it, but that's okay. It's July 4th weekend, it is July 4th weekend. So, everybody should be out there celebrating Independence Day. Plus, you have one more day. Tomorrow's Sunday to recover, do whatever you want, celebrate some more if you want, and then we get into the meat of July. So we're going to get to the midst of summer. Summer's been going on now for about 3 weeks now. We had a really, really brutally hot day yesterday, and we'll see what the rest of this week is bringing. 90s here in Reisterstown, so we'll see how that's going to work out. But besides all this stuff that happened with my TV and stuff, I need to get new shoes. I need to get my son some new summer pajamas. We need to get my daughter and son haircuts. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. So we're going to, do some stuff this week as well. My kids are doing their some more virtual merit badges for their Eagle. They each are doing 2 this week. So Monday through Thursday, they're doing 2 of these classes, as long as some summer school work that we've got working on them. So we're just trying to get into the groove of things here. So hopefully we'll be able to do that, because we've just had a week, and then we were on vacation, and then we have this week. So our summer's just sort of been spiraling out of control. But after we get through this week, we should be able to get things back under control. So we were on vacation this week. That's why I was mysteriously off of social media, why I forgot to post last week's episode of Dylan Knows until today, because we were just, we decided to take vacation. Now, as you know, I've been laid off now. Let me see. Think about now. March 23rd was the last day I was at work. So including weekends and holidays. Let's see, 23rd. That's 8 days since there's 31 days in March. Then there's 30 days in April, so that's 38. There's 31 days in May, that's 70. No, it's 69. 69 days, and then there was 30 in June, so that's 99. So then we are day 4, so 9. So it's been 103 days since I've been off of work. I've been out of work now for 103 days. It's something that I'm not used to. My work is claiming that they will call us all back, so I don't doubt that they will. They have been increasing our unemployment monthly, so I don't owe again. I don't come up again for having to get unemployment again until August 1st. So I got some time now to keep that up. So hopefully things will work out. I don't see it happening anytime soon because of the extreme spikes in the COVID virus that is hitting down the South, where a lot of our accounts are. So we'll see what happens. But right now, it kind of sucks. Being out of work for over 100 days is kind of sucks. So, I personally feel I don't deserve vacation since I've been off for 103 days. Not my own doing, of course. I would have rather be working than being at home. But that's just not the way things go. But my wife has been an essential employee. She's been working every day basically since March. Maybe even since February. I don't think she's had a day off since like February. And so she's been working pretty much. So she deserved a vacation, and the kids with all their doing very good with their homeschooling, and my son missing out on his 5th grade experience, which really sucks as well. Due to this event, they deserve the vacation as well. So this week this previous week that we went, the 30th through today, was supposed to be Scout weekend. Or Scout Week. And an alternate dimension where we don't have useless politicians at the White House and in Congress, and this virus did not affect create a pandemic, and all this stuff didn't happen, I would still be working. And this past week, my wife and 2 kids would have been at Scout Camp Week, which is they're a week-long overnight camp. So for all week they would be gone. The kids would be working on their merit badges while they're grown-ups. So they're just to help them get along and do some other stuff as well, help out here and there. So they would have been gone all week. I would have had the house to myself all week. I was gonna take off July 1st and 2nd. We would have been off the 3rd, so I would have had a 5-day weekend, which would have been nice if all things were good as they were supposed to be, and my kids were able to do this. But since they weren't able to do this and camp got canceled, my wife got in touch with a bunch of her other Scout friends and the friends of my son and daughter who are also in Scouts, who are parts of these families, and decided, why don't we do our own camping trip, except instead of it being merit badges, it's just a vacation. So we found a campsite called Frontier Town in Berlin, Maryland, which is right outside of Ocean City. It's about 14 minutes away from Ocean City, 6 miles, and it's also right near Assateague as well. And it's a campsite which has a water park, a mini golf course, and a Western amusement park, zip lines, stuff like that. But it's a huge camping ground. It's huge. You have places for RVs and cabins and tent spots, and there are different levels of how you can camp. You can have your primitive, which is old school camping, and it goes up with more electricity and power and bigger spots and closest to water. And so we decided to do that for Monday through Friday. So we went down Monday. We left here about, 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m. on Monday. Got down there in 3 hours, and were able to get right into our campsite. We got our camp stuff set up, enjoyed a week of camp stuff and fun like that. And then we left. We had to leave by 11:30. We left by 10:30 on Friday. We're home actually in 2.5 hours. So we made it back home pretty quickly as well, and have been able to just relax this weekend. That's all it's going to be. Our upstairs is still filled with all the junk that we brought to camp, but all in all, was a interesting vacation. The cons of it was the campsites were very close together, which was kind of rough because you'd be able to hear and see other people. It was it was really, really close to each other. Luckily, one of the campsites to our right was not uh, used until we were leave until Thursday. They came in on Thursday, so we had pretty much a week of a quiet on one side, but we had someone else on the other side. All of our friends, we were all sort of together. One family, a group of our friends decided they would get a cabin, and there were these small cabins that were in front, and the campsites were behind it. So they had a cabin, and then our other family we went with as well. They got the campsite behind the cabin that our friends went with, and then there was a campsite that they were trying to get for us so that we would all be together, but it was already booked by this other family. So then we got the one next to that, so it wasn't that far of a walk, and we were able to all hang out together. So we were all hanging out together. The kids had kids their own age and sexes that they could play with, and have a good time. And we got down there and we just got ourselves settled, and they were all like scouting people, so they're used to camping. They know how it is, so they were very efficient in getting their camping stuff done. The other con to it was the bathhouses were absolutely horrendous. There was one bathhouse near us, within walking distance, probably about a 5-minute walk from our campsite, maybe a little bit longer. But it was no air conditioning. It was hot and muggy. There were showers, toilets, and urinals and sinks and stuff like that. But the toilets had slow flow flushing, so that if you had to do like a number 2 or whatever, and you flushed it, it would just sit there. And sometimes if you didn't flush it hard enough, the people before you, it would just sit there when you opened up the stall and it was still in the toilet, which I hate seeing that kind of stuff. And it was hard. Took a long time for it to refill back up. And also because of social distancing, they were closing every other booth for a toilet, so there wasn't a lot of booths there. The sinks were low, and there were always people coming in and out, so you really couldn't shave. So I actually grew a beard for the whole week. I didn't shave all week. Shaved off, obviously I shaved off yesterday, so my fresh face self again. The showers were shitty because they were low. For me, it's always a big deal, but it's not a deal breaker. I get those in hotels all the time. The deal breaker was that you had to press a button in, and you press the button in and the water would come out. Sometimes it'd be hot, sometimes it'd be cold, sometimes it'd be lukewarm. And that's fine, but the problem was the water came out in spurts of about maybe a minute each, maybe a minute and a half. So you'd press the button in maybe 2 minutes. You press it in, and you would the water would run, and you would rinse yourself off and get yourself rinsed off. And then right before you're grabbing the soap, it shuts off. So you got to press the button again. The water comes out again for another minute and a half. So you get the soap on. And while you're getting soap on, while the water's coming on you, the water stops as you're finishing up soaping yourself up. So now you're just sitting in a cold shower place without any water running, covered in soaps. And you had to turn the button again. And then you turn around, you had to wipe off all the soap. And it takes a little while because soap gets in there. And you got to wipe every part of your body, stuff like that, and get it off. So you had to hit it maybe a couple times to get all the soap off your body. Then you had to get then the water would turn off. Then you put the shampoo in your hair, and then you'd have to press the button again. And the water would come down and would only take a little while to get the soap out. And it would take some time. So you have to run it through your hair 2 or 3 times